think we are ready. So let's start then. This is Jens, PhD student in the first year at ETH. So let's talk blockchain. Blockchain is this very trusted data source where you can store transactions coming from construction. Oh, it's actually working. Okay, and then you can use smart contracts on top of it to encode transaction logic, what you want to do with this transaction inside the blockchain. And one thing you can do is you can create incentive systems with this thing. And this can be financial. It can be coded money like cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is one example for it, but it can also be non-financial. And blockchain offers some unique benefits that has never been there before. So one example of it is this CryptoKitty, which has a unique DNA. It exists only once in the world, and it's tradable. So because it's unique, it has actually value. So it's a gamification aspect on the blockchain. And why is this interesting for construction? Well, construction is all about delivering a project with good quality and on time, on cost to the customer. But we currently have some problems in the construction industry, and a lot of them are related to fragmentation. So it's, on the one hand, a cut between the design, construction, and operations, and what often happens is you push risk and costs towards the end, to the customer. And we have also trade separation, so these people often don't talk with each other, and there is a lot of silo thinking, and we also have longitudinal fragmentation in construction, which means that after one project, teams often disassemble, and you have new teams on new projects, so you also lose a lot of knowledge in the new project, and you start over again. So how can you try to solve this? I have this idea that I can use data that is currently created with all these digital models to create a new system I call Cryptoeconomic incentive system for cross-construction. So the idea is basically that you observe what's happening in design, in construction, and also in maintenance, and what you do, you gather data. And this becomes more and more easy over time. So what do you do with this data? You actually feed it what is relevant to the blockchain, and then you have these smart contracts in place which take care of the incentive system. So if your behavior is in line with the overall project goal, you get the rewards, and if not, you get maybe punished. So this can be financial or non-financial. So it's a stick and carrot principle. So what is the goal of my PhD is to try to create this cryptoeconomic incentive system for more collaboration, to get rid of some of the fragmentation through incentives and make products better and deliver it with higher quality in the end. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. I'll pass on the microphone.
Jens, thank you. Interesting ideas. It seems you're dealing a great deal with human behavior and behavioral economics by applying incentives or disincentives. How much have you delved into the rationale or the irrationality of behavior of people on construction sites, subcontractors, crews, supervisors, general contractors, etc.?
Yeah, I'm just starting. As I said, I'm in the first year of my PhD. But I partnered with the computational social science group of ETH, so I get a lot of help from there. And my idea is just to try something very innovative, because obviously what we have around has not worked so far. And I think there is great potential in these new technologies to maybe just try something new which may work. Yeah.
Why do you need technology to encourage collaboration? If you can think of the right incentives or disincentives, why can't you apply them through regular paper contract forms?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I mean, we do have things like IPD at the moment, which try to do something similar with contracts. But I think there is more potential also in this technology because it's very long term. So you can encode stuff that is there for years, so you can also encode incentives that only apply after years and years, which might be appealing for some use cases, and for other it's definitely not suited. I'm not saying this is going to be the new general system all the time used, but I think it does have maybe some applications.
Jens, this is very interesting work, or as direction, cutting edge. The question is, as Raphael said, is the industry, the construction industry, which is quite traditional, would it be ready to go that way? And what would it take to go that way? Have you talked to people in the industry about this possibility?
I mean, in the end, IPD is on the rise, so definitely companies are interested in these kind of ideas. But I think, no, they haven't dealt with all these ideas yet. It's a very new space, and probably they wouldn't adapt it right now, I'm pretty sure. And my idea is, like, in the end, the idea is that you don't even notice all these things happening in the background, right? It's a very easy user interface, and I mean, you use the same project management tools you use nowadays to evaluate performance, and you just feed the important information to this system, and all these things happen naturally. And I don't know if it's ever going to be applied, but I think it's very interesting, and its research is also about trying new stuff. So I think it might be used in the future, it might not be, or it might be used differently, but I thought I'll try.
Topic is very interesting. What I would like to understand is what are the deliverables? So what do we expect after 4 years of your PhD?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's very exploratory work, so I go step by step, and I start also from what is there. So we try to start with things that are related to IPD, so which is proven to work, and we just try to bring it to the blockchain, which is a proof of concept, and we also try to implement that in a very simple way, not very extensive, of course. And then we go from there. I think there is more opportunity also for other use cases.
Yeah, so just a quick comment, which would be interesting to just note is, in a blockchain sort of environment, each transaction costs, right? So transaction costs can go very high in the setup you're talking about. So it'd be worth keeping track of